All right, welcome back. Another episode of our Supercoach podcast. No Mitch for this one. Again, he's disappeared. Times get tough.
Yeah, I mean, dropped out of the starting 17.
That's it.
Yeah.
Traded him out.
Yeah.
Big trading this week with VJ. So
yeah, I'm a cheapie as well, right?
bottom dollar. Great value there.
Yeah, but if I play 3 games, then I can get the price. Yeah.
So very, very handy trading this week, I think. Expecting big things.
See what I can do.
No, but welcome back. Last week, didn't do too well. Did all right. Did better than last week.
Yeah.
Making progress, but not as much as I'd like. 1,180. Season rank jumped up a little bit, but not much. 28,784. Still a long way back, but still a long way to go as well. So not too concerned at the moment. I'm pretty happy with where my team is. The cheapies are doing well. There's a couple of things that I'm probably not too happy with, but for the most part, I'm happy with the cheapies that I've got. They're doing well. Most of the guns are doing okay, so not too concerned. I think they'll come good. Just give them a bit more faith. Harry Grant, 53. Didn't do a lot. Was looking like a little bit of a poor score, but ended up with 53. Got a couple of extra points that I wasn't expecting him to get, so that was nice. 65 for Sanders Smith. He's doing really well. Kind of getting tries or try assists in every game, so I think his base is quite low, so if he doesn't get those attacking stats, I think he'll probably be one that can start peaking at price a little bit quicker than what we probably think. So that's one to keep an eye on. Again, I think, as soon as he gets one score where he doesn't get any tagging stats, he probably gets about 20, and you might need to look at moving on. But at the moment, he's fine to hold. Payne Haas, 51, played limited minutes this week. He didn't really need to play big minutes. They were pretty dominant, the Broncos, over the Tigers. Limited minutes for him, 51 points. Not too concerned, though. He's just outstanding still. May, 69. Very nice there for May. Corey Horsburgh, 65. Did pretty well. He's getting that offload a lot as well. He's getting plenty of offloads away, so that's helping him. Tino, 67, even with that sin bin, which was very handy.
How many do you lose for a sin bin?
10. 10. So would have been 77 plus the extra 10 minutes he probably plays.
Oh, then he gets an 89 plus, yeah.
So he's just looking like he's going from strength to strength every week, Tino. Safar, 37, a little bit disappointing there. Was pretty quiet, didn't do much. No Luai, I don't think helped him.
The week before he was on fire, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He had a lot more base last week. Like last week, I think he got 70-something. He had a try assist in that. But even his base was really good. 81 the week before against New Zealand.
Because he needs the ball a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried about him. He might be one that I might look to get rid of this week. I was, big fan of him. I liked his work, but yeah, I don't know. It's only the kind of that 1 week last week that he was really good, and then apart from that, he's been
cash out before he drops.
I think so. I think that might be the way to go. He's made a little bit of money for me, so made 100, almost 100K. So
what's his break even now?
46. So it's not an urgent trade. I could give him another week, but
so he'll probably hit that break even though.
Probably against the Newcastle as well. They pretty Wait and see, but it's one that I'm considering. Nicholson was very, very good, 91 with a try. Nat White, he's doing great things too, 55, playing really consistent minutes. I didn't expect him to. I thought he'd be pretty up and down, but he's been, really consistent actually with his minutes and his point scoring. So he's looking good. Really good depth as well with that dual position that you can put him in front row, second row. I'll probably play him this week with No Tino, obviously getting that suspension.
Yeah.
Jack Jawetsky, I think it's time for him to go 20 points in not great minutes. I thought he'd play 80 minutes, to be honest, with no Ricky. But, 53 minutes, 20 points, not great. I still got a really low break even of 16, but there's a couple of options this week that I might be looking at.
But when you have those blowouts, though, I mean, when you're having most of the ball, you probably don't get those base tackles. Walsh and Reynolds running the game with the attack, so
kind of just needed to stay out of the way and let them do their thing, didn't he? Hubner, 64, got a little try assist too, but he looked really, really good. Happy with him. He's going to start making some money. Obviously, his third game last week. Went up 72,000. Got a negative 22 break even this week. So it's probably not too late to jump on if you haven't. But if you got him, well done to you. Cleary, 94, had him as captain.
It's a good pick.
Which I was pretty happy with. Considering how the game panned out and how kind of the Panthers weren't as dominant as what I thought they'd be, but Cleary still managed to score really well. So he's shaping up as a definite must-have. I think if you don't have him already, I think he's one that you need to kind of look at getting in this week because, even when the Panthers are playing poorly, he's still scoring close to 100. So, and against the Dolphins this week, he could go very large. Yeah. I think I'm going to keep the captaincy on him this week as well. Reynolds, 57. Got that nice little chip and chase try, which was good. Had that hamstring injury as he was kicking the goal, which was really weird, I thought. But went off after that. Could have got a lot more if he didn't go off, I thought. He's starting to look really dangerous. But it's been named this week.
It's a risky one, though, because if he plays 15 minutes and feels it and goes, he scores 8 or 10 points and you're stuffed.
Yeah.
He'll drop in price and you're stuck with a depreciating asset.
Yeah.
So that would be an option to trade.
Yeah. But I don't know who to trade for.
Do you go sideways or do you go for cheapie?
Yeah. I could go Hines. I'm just not that keen on Hines. The way that him and Trindle are playing, 127 break even, so he's...
What about the Stouts? Sullivan, who's coming in for half guy?
Could be an option, but I just don't know his job security.
Yeah.
Because there's that Lewis Dodd they brought over from England. He's suspended.
Lewis Dodd himself could be a option at some point.
He could if he can find his way into the team. But yeah.
You need to have a look at his Super League stats and see...
I don't think it was great. I had a quick look at the start of the year. It wasn't it probably worked out to be around about 50 points. Not bad, but Sullivan could be one if he can hold his spot, but I wouldn't be that keen on him this week. Just too many question marks for me. Reynolds break even of 114, so he's pretty high as well, but does have the Roosters. It's a good matchup.
Yeah.
But as you said, if he doesn't play or if he does play...
He's going to drop a lot. You're losing 100,000 plus. I mean, he's probably not going to hit that break even with a monster game.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If it's one of those things, if you keep him this week, you probably got him for the rest of the season.
I think if I didn't have Cleary, Reynolds to Cleary would be an obvious trade.
But not playing Origin is a good thing for him.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'll wait and see. I just don't know with Hines... With Trindle, I think it works for him in NRL, but I'm worried in Supercoach. Trindle takes a lot of ball and a lot of those kind of point scoring opportunities away from him.
Hines has taken a bit more of a back seat.
Yeah.
He makes nice passes, but that's not like super coachy.
Yeah, unless he's kind of getting that final try assist or something like that, which he can do, but it's...
He used to run the ball a lot more.
Yes, yeah. He probably doesn't run or demand the ball as much. I think Trindle kind of overcalls him a lot as well. So, instead of touching the ball 3 times a set, he'll touch it once or twice. So, Munster, 93 was really good. He had like that 20-minute period where he was in everything. And then, 93, he'll take that. Adam Dewey, I didn't play him because I was worried about his groin injury, how that would hold up and whether he'd kick goals. He didn't end up kicking goals. Coruscant was kicking the goals. So I'm happy enough. 39 points. He's another one that I could look to trade. But I just kind of want to give him another week because if he's kicking goals...
He missed a couple, right?
No, it was Coruscant. Coruscant was kicking.
Everyone? I think Dewey missed one, I think, maybe.
Maybe. Because Coruscant went off.
Yeah.
I think he might have kicked then. But, I think I'll hold him one more week. And then maybe next week look to trade. The thing with Dewey is... As well, I can, bring in a centre for him because he's got that dual position, which is handy. So
that's including a try assist as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So a little bit concerning. I'm not going to play him this week, but
he's a bit of an expensive guy to have not playing.
Yeah,
probably could do with a cheapie there.
just a hard position.
How much is he?
464.
Oh.
I could get him, actually. What I could do, I could trade him, put Campbell to my 5'8", as my second 5'8", and then bring in another fullback, bring in a Tedesco or a Gutherson, one of them. That might be the way to go. Because I've got money in the bank. I've got 400K just sitting there. So
Is 464, is that a expensive end now? Or that's
it's about mid. About mid, yeah.
I find it funny with Supercoach. It's been inflation.
It's
So my main heyday of Supercoach was about 10 years ago.
10?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like 10 plus. So, yeah, even high school as well.
Yeah.
So at 2011, 2012. So yeah, I remember even like HSC, but also I'm worrying about my Supercoach team. But the most expensive players in the game, like Corey Parker, was 500.
Yeah.
And that was the most expensive in the game. But now that's...
Well, you look at Payne
inflation.
Haas is 854.
Yeah. So what's the, why is there inflation? Like, what's the point of this? And a cheapie used to be like 80, 90.
Yeah, yeah.
They used to come into the thing at 80, 90, and now they come in as what, 200?
198 or something is like bottom dollar. Yeah.
I love how Supercoach has been like, okay, we're going to inflate the prices for no reason.
I think because the salary cap matches the actual NRL salary cap.
Oh, okay. They're trying to like make it more realistic. Okay.
So as the NRL salary cap increases, that also
Supercoach increases with it. I love it. The other main change, I think, so I've been out of it for a few years, obviously, but I played a season at the end of when they switched into the tackle breaks. There's a point.
Yeah.
So you saw a huge shift into the halves and fullbacks and everything like that. When it used to be just you have to make sure you get Parker, Gallen.
Corey Parker, Gallen. Yeah. All those base stats. Yeah. Whereas now it's probably the complete opposite. Like apart from this year, front row forwards have been kind of dead.
Yeah.
This year they're going off. So,
but it's good. I mean, now it seems like the best players in the game are the best Supercoach players. Back then you had
your centers scored like nothing.
Yeah.
Like your centers were kind of filled with your cheapies, and you just picked random people. They didn't really matter. Whereas now your centers are probably your highest scoring players because you get a player that scores 2 or 3 tries and all of a sudden they're getting 150 points. So,
because like you don't have what it used to be, where guys who are like pretty average players end up like great Supercoach. Guys.
Garrick, 53 points from him without really doing anything, so I'll take that. Marzu probably had the worst game of his life and still got 42, so I'm not too concerned there.
Garrick missed a few goals as well.
Yeah. He also had that try, Garrick, that got disallowed, which was...
Oh, the dodgy disallowed.
which I thought he should have been awarded. The offside.
Yeah. Because they made it very quickly.
They did. Well,
and that was the one where it's like, we can't prove that he was...
We can't see, yeah.
But he's either onside or he's not offside. I mean, that's...
But the camera angle didn't get him.
It. Yeah.
Which
I mean,
is
we're
very
in 2025.
strange.
I mean, EPL do it where they have the line.
Yeah.
Why can't we just put a line down the thing? I mean, is it that hard?
Yeah. I mean, soccer's been doing it for years.
Yeah. Like imagine that try meant nothing, but imagine if that was a grand final. I mean, someone would be crying.
Yeah.
Ricky still would be crying.
Ricky would be. Greg Marzu. If you look at the Newcastle draw, a lot of people are looking at selling him this week. I'm not that keen on selling him. He's got the Tigers this week, got the Sharks, Warriors, then South Sydney, Gold Coast, Parramatta. It's a pretty decent stretch. Then plays round 12 as well, which is the first major bye round. I'm pretty comfortable holding him. As I said, he played terribly and got 42 points.
Yeah,
so.
there's no need for the knee jerk. I mean, especially you have to really try and conserve these trades. You'll need them in the Origin season.
Yeah.
Is it still 40 trades?
About that, 44, 45 or something like that.
So they disappear quickly in your as it comes down. So
yeah, especially during that Origin period.
And if you don't have trades come the finals, you're done.
Yeah,
listen, might as well log out and end it.
Shibasaki, 33 points. I'll hold him probably one more week, -2 break even, and then I'll probably look to offload him to someone else. But made 70k almost last week, so not bad.
So you'll make another 30, 40k.
Yeah. So he's been outstanding. Shibasaki, who would have thought at the start of the season that he'd be one of the cheapies of the year? He's made 250k almost. Outstanding stuff from him.
Was that your own pick, or did you follow one of the recommended cheapies or anything like that?
No.
Just went for it.
Do things on my own, mate.
No, none of this. I remember back in the day, like Tommy Sangster.
Yeah.
Just follow the.
He's still kicking around, Tommy.
'Cause the guy never actually won Supercoach or even came.
I don't know
to
how he's
100,
become like the
but
Supercoach.
He just became the guru. He's the guru. Yeah, everyone listened to him. And
He's
then-
never come close to winning, has he?
No. He just,
There you go.
Everyone just took what he said as Bible. I remember I used to wait for like the Monday or Tuesday Tommy Sangster drop for the weekend. I used to like come home from school. Like, I need to see the Tommy Sangster.
Well, back in those days, there was no like these days. Like there's heaps of podcasts that do it, and there's so
look
much
everything up
there's
and-
so much content there. So there's so many different opinions, and you can get different ideas. And someone will say something, and then you can go on 3 or 4 outlets.
Yeah,
and,
like with the rise of YouTube and everything. Back then,
and you can really
need
get
my Tommy Sangster.
You really get all the stats without even kind of having to work for it by yourself. It's all kind of out there for you. But yeah, back in the day, it was Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy was the
Get me on
man.
Tommy.
Yeah. And he used to have this thing where it was like the Daily Telegraph live blog.
Yeah.
And then people like ask, "Hey Tommy, I
Yeah.
want to trade in this."
And he'd answer most of them too.
It'd just be a long. I used to like tune in for that as well.
Yeah.
Man, I really had no life back then.
Shout out to Tom Sangster.
Yeah. Is he still? So he's still working for Daily?
Yeah. He's still on it. I think they've still got a podcast. He does his like buy, holds, and sells, and
He's made a living. He's made a career out of Supercoach.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think the problem for him is as I said, all these other podcasts that have come out
Come
and
for
like
him.
people that have actually like won.
But he has the
Supercoach.
name. He has the
He's
name.
got the name.
Name.
He's still a guru.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Jenkins, he is outstanding, 66 points, made 130k just last week alone. Negative 29 break-evens. They're going to make another 70k this week probably. Got the Dolphins match up, so if he can cross over for a try, he's going to get 80 points plus.
That's huge. Yeah.
He's just got such a good work rate. Like he's making tackles, he's making runs, he's got that tackle breaking ability as well. So he's doing it all. He's just made for Supercoach.
Yeah.
And as I said, on the back of that, Penrith, they've got to click at some point. And,
and he'll. So is he going to stay for you then? Like a full? Are you thinking of whole season thing, or are you going to move when he gets to 600k or something?
I think he could be a season hold.
Yeah.
I really do. He's got the base for it. I'd be quite happy holding him in. Maybe not starting every week, but towards the back end of the season, when your teams are really strong, he can be a really great depth option. So
I mean, what you could do, I guess, then Dewey maybe becomes the guy to trade.
Purdue from the Cowboys.
Him.
He's
really
looking better
like
and better every week.
Yeah,
Mitch hates him.
Mitch hates him. Just like
doesn't like him.
just doesn't like the cut of his jib.
No, doesn't rate him at all. Thinks he's absolutely rubbish.
Well, as a player, as a not as a.
Probably as both. But no, as a player, doesn't rate him at all. Doesn't like him as a Supercoach option.
He's quick. He's got athletic. I think he's going to be an absolute
To be fair,
superstar.
there were a couple of weeks there where his defense looked a bit suspect.
Yeah, he'll grow into it. He's going to be a superstar.
The last probably 2 weeks, he's been really good.
I see a bit of that, like sort of Greg Inglis. I think.
I was going to say Val Holmes, but Greg Inglis, that's a big call.
Yeah. Tune back into this episode when he becomes a superstar. I'll be
called it early.
Yeah.
The next GI. But no, he's doing really good. A lot of people jumped off early with those couple of low scores, but
the thing is, I mean, they got smashed by 50. I mean, what's he supposed to do?
that's it. And that's the thing with the cheapies. Like they only got to score one try, and they're going to generate cash for the next 3 weeks. So -7 break even. He's made 170k for me. He's been doing outstanding. Haven't played him, but he's a genuine play option every week now.
Yeah.
As I said, he's looking better and better.
Especially if the Cowboys going well.
And they're giving him a lot more ball than they did at the start as well. I think they're trusting him a lot more. They realise what his skill and his tackle breaking ability is. For only a small kid, he's
doing well. I mean, what you could do is just when Cowboys play at home, slot him in.
Yeah. They do. They always play so much better at home, the Cowboys, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's not a bad shout, actually. Tamale from the Raiders, 54 without a try, so he was really good. I think he got a line break in there. But, he's looking really good as a nice little cheapie option too. Robert Toyer, 45, without any attacking stats. He's looking like a decent hold for the time being. Maybe one to upgrade in a couple of weeks' time if he can't jag any attacking stats. But happy to hold for now. He's getting 40 points in base, and then all it's going to take for him to fall over the line and that 40 becomes a 70, 80 points. And he's going to make some decent money. So happy to hold him for now. Jaden Campbell, 52. I don't really know how he got 52. I think he's pretty lucky to get that. But I'll take it. He was on like 30, I think, at full time. And then like when they do their updates, he got updated about 20 points. So.
I love Jaden Campbell. Big fan. I mean, it makes me feel really old. It's because like Preston Campbell was my favourite player. But he and the Titans draw coming up is pretty decent. They've got the Dragons this week, then the Raiders, then the Cowboys. So the next 3 weeks are really good. It gets a little bit tough with the Bulldogs, but then again they've got Newcastle, Canberra. It doesn't really matter anyway. I mean, like because Titans are a team that can lose 50 to 26 or something, and then Campbell scores 2 tries and they still get pumped, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. So
there's always going to be points in the Titans.
Yeah.
So
They usually don't lose 40-0 or something. They always grab a couple of tries.
Apart from probably the Dogs game, every game there's one that they're going to probably put decent points in, and he's going to be and he's got the goal kicking as well, which really helps. So. Iongi 107 points was outstanding. A lot of people sold him last week. I was contemplating selling him, but didn't. Thankfully, I didn't. 107. He was just kind of in everything. That was his best game of his career, I think. And I think he's going to get a lot of more confidence about that. I think Parramatta's going to get a lot more confident as well. And I think he could be in for some decent price rising. And, he could potentially be someone that you could look at holding. I don't think I will. I think I'll eventually want to upgrade him to a Tedesco or a Pappenhausen or one of those elite, even a Gutherson I don't have, which I think I'd like to get. One of those elite gun fullbacks. But he's doing really well at the moment. I'm in no rush to trade him, especially after that. 107. So that's it.
How much did he go up money-wise?
70K, I think.
Okay. And the break-even still minus 19.
Minus 19, yeah.
Do you have to pay for the break even? Is Supercoach Gold?
Supercoach Gold, Supercoach Plus, whatever it is. Yeah. Kalen Ponga, 35. Look, didn't really do much. They didn't score a point. So I'm happy to kind of just not read too much in that. They're not going to play the Bulldogs every week. Their draw coming up, as we said, is pretty good. The Tigers, Sharks, New Zealand, South, all of these teams that are all capable of scoring big points. So
he'll score 100. Like there'll be a game he scores 150.
Yeah.
Price doesn't make any difference because they're keeping him anyway. The only thing is over Origin. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, does he get named?
That's the thing. There's been a bit of like, is he keen to play and that kind of stuff. I think he pulled out last year, didn't he? Did he?
I think one game.
And then he said, I didn't want to play, but then he did want to play.
Yeah. Well, there was the Australia.
That was the Australia thing.
But then I think Queensland there was also, I think one of the games for State of Origin he pulled out of because
he's still coming off injury
Yeah. So
who knows?
And obviously with Reece Walsh, like it's not like Queensland don't have another fullback option. So it'd be interesting to see which way they go. But I think he's a hold until then. And then if he gets picked, I think that you can have that conversation about selling him. But I'm pretty happy to hold. I think he's one of the elite fullbacks.
Because you're burning 2 trades in to get him out and get him back in.
That's it.
Probably not worth it.
Yeah. Even though he scored low, like he'll
be fine.
Don't trade him just because he got one low score. That's my team. Now, I'm not going to go into team list because there's not too many. There's a couple of changes, but nothing too relevant. The main one just being Latrell moving to 5'8", so that could be good news for him. Not one that I'd rush in on, but just one to watch, I think, just seeing how he does perform there. If he does really well and he can hold that spot for a few weeks.
He becomes then one of the better players, right? Because he'll get a lot of defense action as well. And then if you add his defense stats to his base, you're probably getting a must-have.
Yeah. With the goal kicking.
Because right now he's probably one of those point of difference guys. But if he becomes a must-have, then you need to get him on. How much is he now?
I think he's fairly expensive, 866K. So you're paying a premium for him.
He's probably price is higher than his actual sort of output right now. I think
so. I can't see him kind of maintaining that. But who knows with Latrell? Like he's one of those players that if anyone can, it would be him. So, and then for the Panthers, Dylan Edwards, he's back as well. So that's a big in for them.
Is he a buy?
He could be.
Or do you maybe let him drop a bit? A couple of quiet games coming back or something.
Yeah, just with like how Penrith have been performing, like his break even's 134.
Yeah, maybe he could leave it for a week unless you're desperate.
His scores of 75 and 50, so he hasn't been bad. He's going to be super consistent. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get you a low score.
But he'll drop. I mean, he'll probably drop this week. Then you can probably get him in next week.
But I don't see him going big. Like I don't see him getting those huge 130 plus scores.
And then does he play Origin?
Probably does. I'd say yeah. So
they'll probably keep him over Tedesco.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's done enough to hold his spot. Especially if he's coming back now. There's plenty of time for him to kind of prove his
fullbacks who
fitness.
don't play Origin who you probably should get instead.
Yeah.
So
Tedesco is a big one that I'm looking at actually. I don't like their draw, which is why I didn't get him last week. I was tossing up between Tedesco and Campbell.
Yeah.
I didn't like Tedesco's draw, but I mean,
with a weaker team as well now, he'll have to do a lot.
He's probably one of those players though that you can almost throw the draw out the window. Like he just kind of
he'll rack up stats.
He just does for anyone. He's involved in so much. He's got the offloading ability, the tackle breaking, all of that stuff. Like he got 101 against Souths with no like huge attacking stats. He got 1 try assist, so it's not like he scored 3 tries or anything.
The only thing is if you think he's on the decline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he, like in terms of his
still got time,
Supercoach, I think he's still like he's involved as he ever has been.
How old is he now? 30 something.
He'd be mid 30s.
I remember
maybe?
watching his first game. He was against the Sharks.
Yeah.
And then he had a good first 20 minutes. And then he did his ACL running up to like the 40.
Did he do that in his first game? Did he?
I think his first game.
Because I know, early on in his career, he did his ACL a couple times.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this West Tigers kid is promising. And then ACL done for the year.
Yeah.
Big loss for the Tigers. They could have had him for 10.
Could have. They've let go some players, haven't they?
Yeah.
The old Tigers. But anyway, but their draw coming up, they've got the Broncos this week, then the Panthers.
840K though.
Yeah. So I'm kind of looking at round 8 and then getting him on that run, St. George, Dolphins, Bulldogs, Sharks.
Especially if he doesn't play Origin.
If he doesn't play Origin, they've got a really, really good draw over the Origin period to play a lot of the major bye rounds. So, in fact, I think they play all of the major bye rounds. So, very, very handy to get him in at some point. He'll definitely get into my team at some point.
Yeah,
it's just whether or not I get him in now or I get him in for the Dragons game.
Yeah.
I think I'll just buy the bullet and get him now because if I'm selling like Dewey for him,
then you're really adding to your team.
That's a massive upgrade. It's
the other direction is to get a cheapie and try and get some more cash.
Yeah.
Play the whole long game.
I'm happy enough with my cheapies at the moment. I think I've done enough with the cheapie. If there's a good one that comes along, I'll get it, but there's nothing like screaming out to me.
Yeah.
In the centre wings or fullback position, there's a couple in the second row, and we'll touch on them, but not so much in the centres at the moment. The other thing I want to talk about is the dual position changes. So round 6 this week, Supercoach have added some new dual positions. A few that aren't really Supercoach relevant. There's a couple. There's Jalen de Groot, who is now centre wing and fullback. He was only centre wing before, who's obviously the Gold Coast fullback.
Yeah.
So it'll be. I'm not that keen on, to be honest. He scored like 20 and 30 in his first 2 games. Doesn't have much base, doesn't have much work rate. Whether things change for him is one to look at, but yeah, I'm not that keen on him. And Vayamuga, who's the Warriors bench player who people may have. He's got front row and second row. I think he's a sell anyway. He's not really doing great things, but if you've got him, he does add that little bit of flexibility. You can get, if you're selling him for a second row, you can sell him now for a front row, basically. So, that could be helpful. I'll just talk on back to Tedesco, just because there's a lot of people that are looking for a fullback, I think, this week. Let's get up the fullback options. Clint Gutherson, he's right up the top there, 828K. He's made 150K. I think he's at his peak price. I think if you're getting him now, you're paying what you're going to get for him. It's just whether or not you think he's going to be a seasoned gun. I didn't think he was, but the more I see him and the more involved he is with that.
He's running the show.
With that Dragons team. Like with Parramatta, he was almost playing second fiddle with Moses.
Yeah.
Whereas now there's no one else. Like it's a young halves combination. He's kind of almost playing that 5'8" role and that fullback role together.
Yeah.
Like he's just doing it all. And every time they go left, he's involved heavily. Like the ball doesn't go left without it going into his hands. So
No Origin too. So yeah.
Yeah. I think the time was 2 weeks ago.
I like him more than Tedesco.
Yeah.
I like him more than Dylan Edwards, given that Edwards probably plays Origin. So
the draw coming up as well: Gold Coast, Manly, South, the Roosters, Tigers, New Zealand is pretty good.
That's pretty alright. Yeah.
Doesn't play round 12, but again, it's still 6 weeks away. Yeah. Probably should have got him 2 weeks ago, but I didn't.
You didn't want to get him before the Para game.
I was tempted to get him for the Para game because I thought he'd have a big one against Parramatta, but I don't know. I don't know if I can put my ego aside and not get him.
That's the thing. If you add the game, you add the game. I mean, if he scores a try, you're like, yes, for my Supercoach. Yeah.
I just think, he's 150K more than what he was. I don't think I can bring myself to get him in. But I think he's a good buy.
Yeah.
I do think he's a good buy. I just, I don't want to pay that much for him.
That's fair.
Because I don't, he's never been a proper fullback gun. He's always kind of been borderline.
Even in his glory, in his top peak days, he wasn't a Supercoach
He's always been an option around the Origin period because he didn't play and all the gun fullbacks played.
He's one of is he one of those guys I think that has influence in the game but doesn't really transfer? He's got the work rate,
but he doesn't. He doesn't normally get a bag of 2 or 3 tries.
Tackle breaks not as much.
Yeah.
Offloads not as much, but those impactful passes and stuff.
But he seems to be a lot more involved. He's getting those try assists this year. I mean, his stats are good. He's doing everything. He's just involved in so many areas. I kind of want to get him, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. The other one, obviously, Tedesco, who I am pretty keen on, and only 4.7% ownership for Tedesco.
4.7?
4.7% for one of the gun.
You got a point of difference there. If you want
Tedesco, Gutherson 21%. So I kind of like going a little bit more pottish with that one. Not much difference in price, 10,000. And I think I have a little bit more faith with Tedesco. Just because he's been a gun for all these years. He was the top player last year in Supercoach out of anyone.
Yeah.
So he's got the form, he's got the credentials. With that 4.7%, I'm real tempted by that. They're probably the two ones that I'd be looking at, I think, in terms of the fullback. If you don't have Ponga, I think I'd be bringing him in. The other one is Walsh. He is probably at the cheapest he's going to be, for 598K.
Yeah.
He's lost a lot of money because he had that 1 week, a couple of weeks ago, where he got 9 points.
He's the guy who could either score massive, score nothing.
Yeah.
There's not much base stats there.
Yeah. And I think regardless of if Reynolds plays or not, I think he'll be goal kicking. I don't think they risk him goal kicking.
Yeah. Walsh is a quality. I would almost argue that he's a better goal kicker than Reynolds.
He can strike him nicely. Yeah. So him with the goal kicking, I quite like. Again,
he's only 598.
Yeah. Yeah, he's lost 130K on his starting price. I think he's going to be, pretty involved in the Broncos' attack. He always is.
Yeah.
He's going to have games where he scores poorly, but he's going to have really great games. And he's one of those players where he can score points so fast. In the last 10 minutes of games, he can
score 2 tries.
100 points.
Watch out for when Ezra comes back, though. You lose a bit of...
Yeah. Although...
Let's grab Ezra.
But I mean, with Ben Hunt and... that my concern with the Broncos is there's a lot of star players there.
That's the thing. When Ezra comes back, you have 4 cooks there, and they're all going to be splitting the try assist and everything.
Yeah,
Probably a premiership winning team, really. I think, but
I don't think Ezra comes back.
you don't think he comes back at all?
I don't know where they play. Maybe off the bench.
Yeah. I mean, even if he comes off the bench, he'll play minutes. And
I
he'll probably
thought before the season what they'd do is they'd move Ben Hunt to 9.
Yeah, that was the plan. I think.
But
But
I think the way Ben Hunt's been playing, I don't think you can move him. Like
Yeah.
they look a better team with him there.
he'll probably come off the bench and play like that kind of. He'll probably still play 40-ish minutes. Though.
Yeah,
So that does limit some of the Walsh
yeah.
things. But even for like a short-term impact thing, Walsh could be a play.
Yeah. I think the big question people have is around Egan and Cant this week. They're kind of the 2 cheapie options.
Yeah.
Cant or Cant, I don't know how you would say his name, but he's 274, so a little bit more expensive. Negative 66
Ooh.
break even.
Okay.
I think he's a better player, the better buy. I like him, everything he's doing. He's got a potential to be a keeper. He's got much better base. You know, and in this game, the last week's game where he got 62, he was playing centre for 90% of that game.
Yeah.
So that's going to hinder, you know, he got 46 tackles when he was playing in second row, 30 at centre, which is still outstanding. Huge numbers on his work rate, tackles,
And how many
runs.
He played 2.
2 games. So this is
copy your price. Get your price.
So this is the week that he starts moving in price. Tigers this week, he's every chance of getting some attacking stats. My only concern with him is how much longer is Dylan Lucas is out. Because if Dylan Lucas comes back into that team, what happens to Cant? Does he drop back to the bench? Does he drop out completely? Because it's obviously him and Kai Pearce-Paul that's kind of, they're both fighting for that spot.
You can still get your price increase there. I mean, even if he's on the bench and getting 30, you'll get a decent price increase. Sell. There'll be people out there who really need the cash. So.
Yeah, I don't want to waste 2 trades. I don't want to bring him in
and then get him out
for a week, and then Dylan Lucas comes back next week. But then, you know, there's every chance that he maintains his role and Kai Pearce-Paul goes to the bench.
Yeah.
So we've seen Kai Pearce-Paul, I think, play a bit of 13 last year. So maybe that's where they look at doing. I don't know. But yeah, if he can maintain his role, if he can get that, then he's going to make a lot of money, and he's a great player. He could be a season keeper. So the other option is Egan, who I think his job security, he's coming off the bench for the Dragons. His job security is much better. 198K, so completely bottom dollar. 47 and 52 are his first 2 scores. So he's not as exciting. He's going to get you kind of around that 50 points every week. I don't see as much upside in him as what I do with Cant, but the job security seems a little bit more locked in.
Yeah.
So I don't know which way I'm going to go. I'm leaning towards Cant, I think, just because I think he's much better player, and I think if you don't get him this week, he's going to start making a lot more money. Dylan Egan isn't going to hurt you.
Yeah. I mean, if you can, the upside is a big thing. If you can possibly get a keeper for 270, you take it.
Like the worst case scenario is he makes 100K and you sell him. Like it's not the end of the world. But the best case scenario, like if you don't get him and then you're holding off thinking that Lucas gets him out of the team, and then all of a sudden Lucas comes back, or there's a delay in his injury. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he holds his position for another 4 weeks. He's going to make 200K in that time. Dylan Lucas might come back. Kai Pearce-Paul drops out, and then all of a sudden he's in that side, and you can't get him because he's 500K and he's, you know. Yeah. So I think that's where I'm going. Whereas Dylan Egan, he's not going to hurt you. I think as I said, he's going to get a bit around that 50-point score. He might make 150K in total, but you're not going to play him and think that your opposition has him and be worried. Yeah. Whereas Cant, if he scores a try and gets 80, 90 points, can hurt you. That's my thinking there. So I think I've just kind of talked myself into
You've just made your decision.
Yeah, I made my
Might as well
decision.
click it now.
I think I'm getting Cant. So there you go. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm sold on that.
Yeah, done. Get him in. Jack Jawetsky, he's gone. Cant's in. There you go. Got a couple of questions from our viewers.
Yeah.
Now, this is one. Trading Greg out, would you be going Pappy or Teddy? Well, the first part of that question, I probably wouldn't be trading Greg out. I do like him. As I said, he's played the worst game of his life. He got 40 points. So, decent run to come for the Knights. All he's got to do is he's got to get on the end of, Ponga finds some form, starts getting that ball to him. He's gonna start scoring some really good points. And he's one that can hurt you. Like if he scores a couple of tries, which he's more than capable of, he's getting 120 points. So,
yeah.
I wouldn't be trading him out, but if you were to, I would prefer Teddy over Pappenhausen, I think.
Pappenhausen could get injured, and he could get injured right now, really.
Yeah, right now, at this very moment. He went off early in the previous match with he said it was just a cork, so it wasn't anything too serious, but
it's always that risk with him.
It's always that
friend
risk.
of the show, actually, friend of Mitch, like actual friend,
friends.
friend of Mitch. Yeah, they've played cricket against each other, messaged each other. So maybe the solution here is if he is injured, just get him to tell Mitch and
inside source.
Yeah, inside source, and then you can make your trades before everything goes down.
Yeah, I prefer Teddy. I think he's much safer. He's better coverage over the bye. I'm feeling more confident having him in the team for the rest of the year. Pappenhausen, I think, as I said, I think there's going to be a period where he gets injured.
Does he play? Do you reckon he'll play Origin?
No, I don't.
Surely not.
I don't think so. Maybe on the bench.
He's
pretty. He's
a weapon to play on the bench if he's fit. Teddy, I mean, that's the thing. Your whole plan disappears if Teddy gets picked for Origin just based on vibes.
Yeah.
So, which I could see happening. It's a very New South Wales thing to do to pick Teddy, I think. So,
but yeah, I prefer Tedesco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I think he's got a much higher floor.
Yeah.
Pappenhausen, I don't think he has the floor. Like if he doesn't get any attacking stats, he'll get 20 points.
Yeah, Teddy will rack up runs and everything.
He gets those tackle breaks. He's a bigger
always
body.
breaks the first tackle.
He kind of does that little crab run across the field.
where we'll sort of shrug off a guy, cop that point.
It doesn't really work in NRL. It looks a bit useless and it doesn't really achieve anything. But in Supercoach, that's like 3 tackle breaks. So.
That's the thing. Before the tackle, because he was a guy who was playing before the tackle break thing. I can't remember him being a gun Supercoach player before that. Yeah. But since then, he became a gun.
Andrew Fafita was a good one for that as well. Because he would stand in the same spot and just palm everyone. Or he'd go across the... he'd run horizontally. Yeah. And just touch everyone as he ran past them, and he'd get 6 tackle breaks.
And again, with him, before the tackle break, he was a 40 or 50 point guy, and then he became better. So,
is Egan an option? I think so. Yeah, I think he's definitely an option. But out of the two, if you can only get one, Egan or Cant, I would be going Cant. Okay. So my trade plans for this week is Jawetsky to Cant. Yeah. That's locked in. Locked in.
Completely locked.
And then I think I might be going Dewey out and getting into Tedesco. I think I might do that.
That's another fair trade.
Might do Gutherson, but I'd rather Tedesco, I think, just with the little bit more potish.
I reckon if you're not an Eels fan, Guthrie would have been your pick.
Yeah. if you're still playing for Parramatta,
it seems like a bit of a line ball thing, which it doesn't help.
I can't bring myself to do it. I think that's... The other option I could look at is getting rid of Seyfarth and maybe going to an Olakau'atu or a Katoa.
Okay.
Both really good options. I like Olakau'atu without Tom Trbojevic, actually.
A lot happens down his side.
Cherry Evans gets more involved. I think he's going to get more ball. So I kind of want to get him too. Maybe I can get him more. I might use my boost. There was no boosts back in the day. It's a new thing.
What's a boost?
Boost, you get 5 a year. Yeah. And it gives you an extra trade for the week. So instead of just getting the 2 trades, you can use 3.
Ooh, interesting.
So I might do that. Maybe Seyfarth to Olakau'atu could be nice. The only thing is I just don't like Manly's run. They've got the Sharkies this week, which is not bad. Then they've got the Dragons, which isn't bad either. It's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're also a team that's sort of in that sort of struggling.
Penrith round 8, which the way Penrith... They're playing
struggling
Sharks again round 10.
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
They have the bye around 9, but you're getting 3 weeks before then. I might just bite the bullet and go Ola Kuatu.
Yeah.
Because I do like him. I do like him without Turbo. Yeah.
Chad Townsend owners are selling.
Oh,
How many of them? Like
all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my trade thoughts. Let's get on what people are doing. The popular ins and outs. This is always fun.
Oh, this is a super gold.
This is a super gold, yeah. Exclusive.
How much do you fork out for that?
I don't know. It's like an annual thing that comes out. I've been
it
doing it for a few years.
I remember it used to be, I think, $40 or something.
No, I don't think it's that much.
Yeah, on less
Maybe
than
it
that,
is.
30.
I don't know. Inflation.
Yeah, someone's got to pay Tommy Sanks though.
That's it. Goes to a good cause. Yeah. Goes to his KFC diet. Jamie Humphrey is the most popular traded out player. That makes sense. He's injured, so ready to go. He's made his money. Obviously, it was unfortunate because he looked like he was going to be a really good cash cow, make a lot of money. Made a little bit, but with that injury, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
94 break even when he comes back. So there's no point holding on to him. He's made you 119k, 120k. Just time to go. Jack Jawetsky, I think it's fair enough for him to go as well. Lowish break even, so you don't need to sell this week. But if you're getting one of those other cheapie options, they're much better options than him. So fair enough. Adam Reynolds, I think he's a trade. Like him to Cleary is an obvious one. If you don't have Cleary, it's just if you already have Cleary, whether there's anyone better to trade him out to if he is playing this week. But I am concerned with what you were saying earlier with if he does take the field and he, any kind of niggle or if they're up early in the game.
I can't see him playing 80.
He's going to get a rest. Yeah.
I can't see him playing 80.
Yeah.
If nothing goes wrong, I don't think he'll play 80 anyway. So
unless the game's goes down to the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. The minute that the game's kind of already decided, at whatever point that is, he'll come straight off, I'd say. Which is a concern.
But the thing is, even when he came off there, he was still doing the bike. He was on the bike and stuff. So
we didn't even have any ice on, it couldn't have been that bad. I don't know. Bit of a sook.
Yeah. Maybe he's just like, I'm done.
Just had enough.
Just pretend my hammy's going in.
Tom Starling, I think he's a fair enough sell. He's getting less minutes now. Ricky's not playing him the 65, 70 minutes. He's playing more 50 minutes. So he's been getting good attacking stats the last couple of weeks, but I think that's covering up the cracks. Yeah. So I think it's time for him to go. He's going to start losing a little bit of money too. Luke Metcalf, I think he's a fine sell. I think he's going to be, pretty rocks and diamonds all year. I think he's going to have some low scores. He's going to have some high scores, but if you're not prepared to kind of deal with the roller coaster, then I think it's fine selling him to a Munster, who's a much better option, or a Jaden Campbell, much safer.
Yeah.
You can kind of play them, and I think they both have more upside too. I think they can get capable of huge scores. Metcalf, I think his kind of ceiling is around probably 90.
Yeah.
Did score 100 earlier on in the season. I don't see him doing that consistently. Seyfarth, I think he's a sell as well. Not an urgent sell. The break even's 49, but I think I've seen enough from him to.
He needs to show something in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. I might give him another week, but I'm not. If you're selling him, I'm not going to talk you out of it. Jesse Arthurs, I think it's fair enough. His break even's 59, versing the Roosters, so he could break that. But he's made 160k. If you want to cash out now, cash out now. Because if he doesn't score a try, he doesn't have the base.
Yeah.
He's very attack stat reliant, but against the Roosters, there's every chance he scores 2 or 3. So, happy to. I think that one you can go either way. It just depends on whether you think Brisbane is going to score or not, and who you're trading to. But it's nothing too urgent. Vayamuga, he's a sell, fair enough. I think with this dual position added, I think a lot of people are able to kind of be a bit more flexible with their trades there, so that might be helping him out. Nico Hines, I don't know if I'd be trading him out. I know I said I was concerned about him, but I don't think I'd be trading
If you have him,
if you have him,
I
I
mean,
think,
you know what you came into.
Yeah. That one's a strange one for me. Because, like, who... Yeah.
Who's doing that? Yeah, same with, what's the last one?
Kalyn Ponga.
Yeah, if you have them, what do you...
Yeah.
There's a reason why you have them.
Yeah. They're guns for a reason. Like, Nico Hines could very well finish in the top 2 or 3 halfbacks. Like, I'm looking at trading in Hines, going, Reynolds to Hines at some point. I probably won't do it this week.
Don't have to worry about it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Guys.
But, yeah, certainly not sell. So that's an odd one. Traded ins, Thomas Cant is number 1. We spoke about him enough, I think. So, fair enough. I think that's a good trade. Nathan Cleary, I think he's going to finish, one of the best players in Supercoach, doing really well. I think he's going to be a really great captaincy option this week too against the Dolphins. Dylan Egan, again, we touched on. I think he's a good buy. I just prefer Cant, and I can't make it work to bring them both in. If you can bring them both in this week, then go for your life. But, I won't be bringing in both of them. Cam Munster, I think he's a great buy as well. Don't need to say much more about that. Jerome Hughes, 778k, expensive. I didn't think that Hughes would kind of live up to what he did last year. I thought he would take a back seat a little bit. I thought Munster would kind of run the show a bit more. But he's kind of picked up from where he's left off. He's doing really well. So, I think he's a worthwhile buy. Eli Katoa, I think he's going to be one of the gun second rowers in the comp. Outside of Hughes, he seems to be seeing a lot of ball, getting that tackle breaking ability. Great under the high ball. He's like, for an edge back rower, he's outstanding in the air. So, very happy to get him. I still think I prefer Olakau'atu, I think, without the turbo. But, I can't knock the Katoa by. Gutherson, and we spoke about him. I think he is a good buy, but you are paying top dollar for him. Yeah. So it's whether or not you see him as a gun fullback for the rest of the year. If you do, I think he's a fine buy. Seal Wong is an interesting one. I just don't know with his job security. Like, he's already made 200k. Like, Victor Radley, he probably comes back at some point when he's done with his HIAs and concussions, and there's so many second rowers in the Roosters. I don't know. Like, he's scoring outstandingly, but I don't know if it'll continue.
Yeah,
there's just a lot of question marks there. I don't hate the play, but it's not one that I'll be making myself. There's just a lot of risk around it. I can't do that. Pappenhausen, again, we spoke about. I don't think it's a bad trade, but 687k, there's better options. I think there's more that I prefer. I'd rather
huge downside risk.
Yeah, I'd probably rather Reece Walsh, to be honest. I think, but playing for a gun side, he's looking good, but it's just a lot of questions.
Reece also has an injury risk as well.
Well, that's it. Yeah. And Matty Nicholson, I don't think I'd be buying him now. I think if you didn't get him already, I think you kind of missed the boat. He's made 120k. Yes, the break-even's 5. Yes, there's more money to be made. But Hosking could be right around the corner.
Does he cap at like a 550 or something? Does he caps out at some point?
I think, yeah. I don't think he makes another, maybe makes just on 100k.
Yeah.
I don't think that's worth making the trade because, as I said, Hosking could be back next week and then he drops back to the bench and then he makes another 30k maybe. But I think if you've got him, keep him for sure. He's a great buy and a great play every week, but I wouldn't be buying him in now. I think you missed the boat there.
Yeah.
We'll just quickly touch on the top captaincy options. What are people doing? Most popular captains. Payne Haas is up there, which I think is fair enough. If you want someone that you can just lock in who's going to get you kind of 60, 70 points, Payne Haas is your man. But Nathan Cleary is the one that I'm going to go to. 10% of captain, I thought that would be much higher. Probably will be as we get closer to Thursday night. But yeah, I think I'm just all in on Cleary here.
A lot of people are signing him in, bring him in, right? So when you add those people, bring him in, they'll captain him, and then
Kalen Ponga, a lot of people doing him against the Tigers, which I don't hate. I think he could be in for a big bounce back game as well. I think they're the big three. Gutherson, I probably wouldn't go this week it's against the Gold Coast. Could be a shout. May's the other one. He could play big minutes against Newcastle and score, a safe 60, 70 points, similar to Haas. They're probably the main ones I'd be looking at. Melbourne, you could go against the Warriors. They could put up a bit of a score. And, so your Pappenhausens, your Jerome Hugheses, probably not Munster. I don't think he has quite the same upsize as the other two. And then anyone for you, if you've got a Reece Walsh, he could be a shout against the Roosters.
Yeah.
There's a few options. I think the thing that people are scared of as well, Panthers obviously playing the first game of the round the Thursday night. I think Cleary's going to be heavily vice captain, but I don't think people are going to go for the captaincy straight away.
Is it still the that loophole?
The loophole, yeah. And it's easy this year because we've got the flex position, which basically is you have 18 players, but only 17 counts as your score.
Okay.
Your top 17.
But if anyone drops to zero, isn't it any zeros, you get the 18th?
No. So it's a new one brought in this year. So basically, it's to stop if someone gets knocked out in the first minute.
Yeah.
And they score 2 points.
Yeah.
That score drops out of your team, and you get your flex position.
Only if they're HIA.
No, just in anything. So whatever your lowest score is.
Oh, okay. That drops out. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
So before, when you'd have your auto emergency would be your lowest scorer.
Yeah.
Now that auto emergency comes into your team as your lowest scorer, but then the flex takes that out of it.
Yeah.
So you don't really lose much by doing that. So it's probably not silly this year, but the thing is, then you've got to if you do the old loop, then you've got to drop someone out of your team completely. Yeah. And then they might score really well, and because you still have to pick your team, you still have to have your reserves. You won't get someone off your bench that you haven't picked as playing. That won't come into your team. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty sold on Cleary, to be honest. As bad as the Panthers were last week, he still got 94 points. So, against the Dolphins, if they can put up a performance that I think they're capable of, I think he could score, 120 plus. So, that's where I'm going. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like your team. Looks good. What's a good score nowadays? I remember back in the day, 1,200 will win you most. Yeah, I think 1,200, 1,300 is a top score.
1,300 is probably par.
So now I think the scores have gone up as well with the backs having a lot more impact. Yeah. Back in the day, even 1,100 could be competitive. So, Is there a battle for the top? How's the top? Because I remember.
Let's look at our rough rigs comp, because we've got a fair few people in that. Got our league here. It's not too late to join either. If you haven't joined already, the league code 382783. The winner of this comp, they get a jersey, an NRL jersey, for free. Just giving away.
Just giving away.
That's what we do here. So, if you haven't joined up, if you've got your team and you're playing and you want a free jersey, join the league. You'll get one if you win. So we've got Jaden, who's doing outstandingly. Ranked overall 358. I actually had a head-to-head match up with him, and
shout out to Jaden,
and he beat me. So
who is Jaden?
I don't know Jaden, but Too Fast for Shrek is his team name. Yeah. It's a good name.
Friend of the show, or is he just
no? He's just someone that's joined.
Yeah, good on him. Yeah.
But he's doing outstanding. So shout out to Jaden.
Yeah.
Mitch is coming up. He's number 7. I'm well down. I'm 40 something. So we're not even going to scroll that much. doesn't go beyond that far.
But the thing is, I mean, you're playing a bit of this cheapie game and stuff. There'll be guys in there who've just picked the whole squad and they'll fall off.
Playing the long game. Over that origin period, that's where
then
I'm going
to come back. Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I keep telling myself.
You've got to stay positive.
Because it's not a great look. Like the first year that I really,
It's not head to head, is it?
No, that one's not. That's just an overall.
That's what's interesting. That's like, do you play the usual? Because the cheapie game is designed around finals.
Yeah.
Not as much total points. So.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and see. But yeah, that's it. That's it for Supercoach.
Yeah.
So glad to have you.
Thank you.
Bit of a trip down memory lane. This one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a throwback. I felt like Tom Sangster for it. I feel like I'm living out a childhood dream, honestly. I mean, watching the Daily Telegraph with Tom Sangster. Now I am.
You are Tom Sangster. There you go. Shout out to Tom Sangster.
Yeah.
I know he's watching. Big fan of this.
He's definitely watching.
He's got to be.
He consumes as much Supercoach content as he can.
He's got to.
Yeah, he's got the keyrings. He's got all the. Do you still get that top 100 keyring?
Yeah, top 1,000.
Oh, top 1,000. Yeah, one of my mates got one.
I've got him a few years. The top 1,000.
Yeah.
Water bottles and KFC vouchers and socks and key rings.
Nothing compared to the 30K. I remember that
it's 50K now.
50K. I remember there was a big sort of story, maybe 10, 12 years ago, where there was a guy. It was like a tight race for first.
Yeah.
Came down to like the last match of the last game, and Sean Johnson threw a try assist. It was given a try assist, and they reversed it after the lockout. And then the guy was trying to like full on go to the court and everything like that because he lost the championship based on that 8 points.
Right. Wow.
So
there you go, drama.
Imagine like you lose 30K based on what classifies as a try assist, because try assists are very subjective.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you'd be blowing up, wouldn't you? Wouldn't be. Yeah, you'd have the old Ricky Stewart blow up.
Jeff Tuvey should be an investigation. And there was an investigation.
There was.
Yeah,
there you go.
Found that it wasn't.
All right. My laptop's about to die, so that'll be it. And George is home, so we got to go. All right. See ya.
See ya.